Okay, what is a straight line graph? In general, any curve which is in the form of a straight line represents a linear graph or a straight line graph. So, what is its general form? The general form is given by y is equal to mx plus c, where y is the y coordinate, x is the x coordinate. What is that representation? The curve can be represented like this. You notice that we got x axis here, y axis here, and this is our straight line. So, this is the straight line. So, this straight line is represented by y is equal to mx plus c. And what is that m? M is the slope. And what is that c? C is nothing but the intercept with the y axis. That means this distance. The distance on the y axis from the origin where it intercepts. And the slope of a straight line gives the rate at which y changes with respect to x. So, read it carefully. When we say slope, it gives the rate at which y changes with respect to x. In general, we can represent the graph like this: x and y. So, this is the general representation. So, observe that this is your c and this is the straight line. Now, if you look at this carefully, here c is positive. And what about that m? Is that m positive or negative? Let's look at this. So, if you look at this, m is nothing but tan theta. What is that theta? This is your theta. So, now is that theta positive or negative? Theta is positive. So, tan theta is also positive. Or I can also interpret it in another way. If the graph is trending upwards, then slope is positive. M is positive. Let us consider one more case. This is y and here is your x and this is another straight line. Now, if you observe carefully, the y intercept is positive. What about m? So, look at this is the angle theta, and m, which is given by tan theta, is negative. So, slope is negative. Or is that graph trending upwards or downwards? It is trending downwards. That means m is negative. M is negative. Let us consider one more possibility. This is y and here is your x. Let us look at this straight line. What can you say about that? What about y intercept? Is that intercept positive or negative? It is negative. And is that slope positive or negative? It is positive. Why is it positive? Because the curve is actually heading up. The curve is heading up. Let us consider one more possibility: y versus x. Look here, this is the curve. So, now if you look at this curve, the y intercept c, is it positive or negative? It is negative because it is on the negative side. And what about the slope? Is that slope positive or negative? This is also negative, as the curve is heading in the downward direction. I will take one general case. For example, this is your y and this is your x. Suppose I have a curve which is represented like this. Let us see what about this one. So, now what can you say? Is that slope or is the y-intercept positive or negative? So, y-intercept is positive. Correct, y-intercept is positive. And what about the slope? Is that slope positive or negative? So if you look at the slope, is the curve heading up or down? The curve is heading up, which means that m is also positive. M is also positive. So this is how you analyze straight line graphs.